So, today is the 10th of January and I'm listening to Going Underground again by The Jam, and the reason I'm listening to that is because I found out from Difford's Guide that on this day in 1863 the London Underground started operating. So it's the oldest underground system in the world, and they suggested that to celebrate it we should make a Piccadilly Martini because, well, there's a Piccadilly Line and Piccadilly Circus on the Underground. But I thought about it a bit, and I really wanted to mark this day for a couple of reasons, which I'll come to in a second. But I thought I would modify that recipe slightly, and today what we're going to make is a Piccadilly Line Martini. The Piccadilly Line on the Underground maps is dark blue, so that's kind of the theme I'm going to be going for. I have a particular fondness for London Underground and London transport, generally speaking. Not just because public transport is the most democratic way of ensuring people can participate in society through work, going to go shopping and all the rest of it, but also because I worked for London Transport for a while. I had a fantastic time providing travel information to people from offices in St James's Park in London. It was above an underground station, appropriately enough. People would dial 222 1234, and I would sit there along with my colleagues, the big map, the London bus map, London-wide bus map in front of me, all the timetables of the buses, of the underground trains, some information of the Dockland Light Railway, and information about connections to British Rail. It was a fantastic job, and I got paid for telling people where to go. I thoroughly enjoyed that. I made some great friends there. It really was good times, but nothing lasts forever, and I just hope that London Transport keeps going. Anyway, let's go on with this. It's a martini, so it's going to be fairly typical proportions to start with. We're going to have obviously our London dry gin. I am using Beefeater, and it's a 2-to-1 proportion here. So we are going to go with 2 ounces of gin there, and then we go to our dry vermouth and 1 ounce of that. And after these, this is where it starts getting a little interesting. I really liked this recipe. I tried it yesterday and it was very tasty. We're going to put half a bar spoon, or that'd be half a teaspoon. You see my cocktail spoon here has one that's more or less 5 millilitres, the other is 2.5, so half a bar spoon of absinthe. That will certainly put hairs on your chest, all that delightful wormwoody taste, just half in like so. And their recipe called for grenadine, but when I made it, I noticed the cocktail was a bit on the pink side, and I thought, but the Piccadilly line is blue, so instead of grenadine I'm going for a blue curaçao instead, and hopefully that'll do the trick. I've not tried it with this. I think it'll have the same effect, except instead of a pink one we'll have a blue one, and this calls for a full bar spoon of that, and I over poured that one, so I think I've got just about enough in there as it stands. I'll just rinse that off in the cocktail shaker before we shake it up and see what we've got. Okay, that's nice and cold there. That should do it. And then in the recipe I saw on Difford's, as I said, it did say to fine strain the cocktail. I don't normally do that for my drinks. I usually just do a very rough straining because I kind of like the particles of ice in it. But I did feel with this one, it really lends itself to being fine strained. I don't have a fine strainer, but I do have a tea strainer, and you can see the mesh there. I think this will do the trick quite nicely. And we're just going to pour this drink into the glass like so, and my word, it's not quite a Piccadilly Line blue, but it is blue. Actually, it's more like the Victoria Line, which is a lighter blue, but that is definitely a blue drink. And then it calls just for a garnish of a twist of lemon, and actually I happen to find this amazing thing, which is a lima limon, and you can probably see those green the green stripes on the yellow there. And that really reminded me of how the district and circle lines look, because they've travelled together for some time and they are yellow and blue and green in colour. So it's like I'm mixing my metaphors a little bit, but I think that's going to be just okay. And There we go, just a twist of that. Get the oils out, plop it in the drink, and let's see what we've got. I am going underground. Cheers.